Hi. Welcome to Trophy Cup.
Final night, Trophy Cup 30.
Turktails, Andy, woohoo.
Yay. Woohoo. Yay.
This guy's eating an Oreo ice cream sandwich.
And I'm only going to eat one.
He's going to eat two because he brought one out for me, and I am being a good boy, and I'm not eating it. So I'm going to make him eat both of them.
Can you explain why you're being a good boy, though? Have you had any of those today?
I've had a ton of them. I just wanted, when I saw he had two, I was all about him eating two.
But, like, I don't need to eat two, so I won't eat
How can
two.
you turn down two ice cream sandwiches?
It's easy.
No, it isn't.
Say, no thanks. I'm full. My belly is full.
It doesn't matter. There's always room for more ice cream.
Man, all week long, all I heard was, like, my belly's too full for alcohol. I can't drink tonight. Belly's
That's
too
because
full.
I ate too much alcohol. So are you saying you want to drink tonight? Okay.
Probably need to.
Wayne Trimble won the Pure Stock A main at Marysville. So Auburn, 1 for 1 at MRP. Let's see what I'm looking at the taxi cab open. Go ahead and talk filibuster.
Who's gonna announce next weekend? We just heard
Oh,
Troy's
yeah.
not gonna
Probably
be at the
GT.
spectacular.
Is Gary?
Probably Gary.
He said George Haig.
George Haig?
Take Will?
Wow. That's a
Is that what he
blast from
said?
the past.
We were talking about earlier.
Jimmy and Andy were talking about that.
Oh. He did fill in last year, I think,
I-
for one race.
Wow. They had 3 IMC modifieds, if this is right.
You
That
made
kinda
me
looked like a
hurry
modified
up.
from your picture.
A mod-
You
What?
made me hurry up and do this,
Yes.
and now you're on your phone talking about something else.
Yeah, MRP's taxi cab open. I'm a fan of all racing.
I don't want to talk about this race, so
Okay.
let's talk about taxi cab.
You made the show for the first, well, it wasn't the first time. You made the show 2 years ago. You missed the show by 1 last year, but I mean, you legitimately just were in the show this year
Yeah.
without having to stress in the B main.
Right.
You don't want to be in those B mains. That freaking B main.
Especially if you just missed the A
Yeah,
and then
TK.
made it into the B, then you start 6, so you automatically
transfer.
start out of a
so
transfer spot.
20th in points is in row 3 of the feature, and 21st in points is in row 3 of the B.
I do feel
And
like
he barely made it out.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day, like it kind of made sense. I don't know, it just seemed like the really good drivers, it was like very top heavy. Like they were dominating the races, so you almost like wanted an invert to make it a little more interesting.
Like it
because-
needed the invert.
yeah,
to jazz it up.
It seemed like it back in the day. But nowadays, like I feel like everybody is so close in speed. Like track position is so important.
Yeah, so let's just dissect that a little bit. So, okay, high point guy tonight going in the feature was who? Peck.
Heck.
Justin Peck. Okay, a great driver, a
These
high
don't
limits
ask me
driver,
questions.
a national driver. Who was on the pole? TK? Was he of the feature?
I think it was Holmes,
Tanner Holmes.
and
Holmes
then might have been
and
Tim's.
Starks.
Oh, Starks.
Okay, so Holmes traveled with the Outlaws last year. Starks won 2 high limit races. So, I mean, it's not like we're putting dogs up front, right?
Right.
And the poor guys in rows 12, 11, 10, 11, and 12 are supposed to just drive up to the field.
Right.
But I don't feel like there weren't shit boxes and dogs racing here 5, 10 years ago. When I was racing Trophy Cup, it seemed hard.
Well, So, what was the year that Rico won all 3 mains?
It wasn't that long ago, was
Right.
it?
So that wasn't that
3 or
long
4
ago.
years? Are we
but
saying
it-
3 or 4 years?
Yeah, it's like 4 years ago.
We can't go
Yeah.
too far because we get into
4 to
COVID. So was it
5.
after COVID or before COVID?
I bet it was.
It might have been
before.
3 years ago.
Man, time flies. We could be
You think
wrong.
Only 3.
Corey won this year and last year. Who won the year before? It might have been Rico.
Darn it. Wish
Well,
we knew.
somebody
information.
knew, let us
but,
know,
But my point was like
It doesn't matter.
that. I don't know if we're ever gonna see that again. But even back to like when TK won from 24th, and like
A long time
it
ago.
seemed like easy to him how he did it. Like I don't know if we're ever gonna see that again either.
Why? What's changed? Because I'm telling you, when Rico did it 3 years ago, it wasn't like the competition was any different.
No.
What the hell happened? Is it the track?
I don't know. I yeah, because it's tough because SCCT has now been around for a while. Because we were talking about when it went from Civil War to SCCT, like everybody thought, okay, this is going to be good for all these local 360 guys. Well, then you had the Roth team going for a championship and just dominating. So everybody basically.
Are you gonna let that other ice cream sandwich
Yes,
melt?
I'm going to.
Eat it.
No.
Yes.
I have discipline, Andy.
Well, then you're gonna let it melt. There's kids in Ethiopia that would live
No,
off that
you're
for a
gonna
month.
put it back in the refrigerator.
All right, I'll eat it. I knew it was down there. It was like I couldn't lose.
It was killing him. He couldn't focus. He has no idea what
Okay.
you just talked about the last 5 minutes because he was worried about the ice cream
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Track prep under the caution, the fuel stop.
Yeah, I had multiple people like bring that up.
too. Cider wants some.
No cider. I've never seen it. It might have happened. I don't watch until the
During the
live
race.
stream.
Right.
I've never been a part of a fuel stop where they went out and worked on the track.
A lot of times at Petaluma they would flip and then they bring the tractor out just to smooth
Knock a
it
rut
out.
down or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But an actual rework of the track at the midway point.
Did they say? Okay, so they're yellow on lap 35. You guys went 35 laps nonstop, which is amazing. Did they say,
technically.
okay, drivers, park on the straightaways because we're gonna farm?
No. Like, I do feel like they said park on the bottom though. So maybe they knew. Well, he was already in the tractor. Like, I knew I was going to stop on the back straightaway because we had that discussion with the team.
We had it under strategy.
So I was headed over there, and the tractor's in the infield, like heading towards me, and I'm like, I remember them saying, like, park on the infield, make sure you have enough room to get push trucks in, almost like starting at the beginning of the race. Everybody get on the bottom of the track. Leave
Yeah, it just
enough
makes sense to
room.
do that though. So when you start pushing off, then you
Right.
have an open lane on the outside. I've never seen park on the bottom so we can work the track.
Yeah. So then the debate was like, did they need to do it? Maybe. Like,
Done with your sandwich yet?
no, I still have a couple more bites.
What the hell are you waiting for? How can you not eat that faster?
Are you want to finish mine?
Do you want another one? Don't let cider get that.
So-
I love ice cream.
I think rubber was starting to take, so that was lap 34. Had the competition yellow, and then they went and reworked. So like it was gonna be rubber down track. It wasn't completely rubber down, so maybe it would have been 5 laps of getting kind of dicey and whatnot. But it would have definitely rubbered up. Apparently, some guys had tire issues. Andy took a picture of my tire
Here, I'll show it.
after lap 34. And
I
it
was nervous.
Blistered really bad.
So I'm just there to help. I don't say anything. So they didn't want to tell him anything, so I'm not going to tell him anything. I kind of like information, so let's see if this will work tonight. Oh, it's this darn ring. Yeah, you can kind of see it. That's after 35 laps. So I go into panic mode. Because now what? Do you tell this guy, okay, start saving your tires? I mean, we're already on the verge of getting laps. I mean, you can't slow your pace down. There only happened to be 3 cars parked in the backstretch. So I went and looked at the other 2. Their tires looked fine. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So then I rode around to the front stretch, and there was, I would say, 50-50. Like, half the cars looked like your tire. And then the other half looked perfect. So I don't know what those guys were doing different, because you guys were all running the same speed and the same lines, and nobody was going anywhere.
like when you're in the car and rubber starts taking, like obviously you get cars more hooked up, you're more into the track all of a sudden, and like a couple laps before it was like bone slick and you're just spinning the tires. You get more traction, then all of a sudden there's a shake, like the wheels start shaking on you. So then you know,
Chattering.
right?
It's like going over a washboard.
So then you know, like, oh, my tires are getting worn out. I better start taking it easy. Well, I felt that. There was no rubber down yet. I was kind of running the bottom of the track, and I was feeling the tire shake already. So obviously, with that picture, my tires were not in good shape. So they just, blistered up. I don't know.
Funny thing is they didn't get that much worse the last 20. So it's weird. I'm just curious. They just got too hot. So what that tire looked like is, it wasn't wearing out. It got so hot. That's what the chunks that are missing. It's called a blister. The tire is just getting so hot. It's kind of in a sense melting, so to speak. So.
So I see a lot of guys trying to sipe their tires
Yeah.
before mains to
You can do
try to
some
get it it's like basically popping the blister before it starts.
There
Releases
were a few guys
releases
doing
the
that
heat.
on that red though, because there was officials asking, you know, you kind of have
Well,
to get an official on each car.
I
to see
saw
what's
some
going on.
people have their tires covered. I did see Corey Day was grinding his tire, which typically you grind your tire, sand it, whatever you want to call it, to like knock the crust off of it. So that's interesting that they were grinding their tire, and I didn't look close enough at his tire to see what kind of shape it was in. And then a few people at the back just said screw it, and they just changed their tire, which penalized you to the back, but they were already in the back, so it didn't matter.
Remember that fall nationals where like three-quarters of the field changed their tire under red?
Well, there's been a couple rubber down fall nationals.
Yeah.
Remind me which one.
So I was in the 2SB, like
So we're talking
Tyler
like
Walker
2010-ish.
was in the red or the
08,
green
09.
24.
Oh, okay, so this is like 08, 09.
Yeah. So I was in the lead, and we have a red with like 15 to go, maybe, I don't know. And everybody's like looking at tires like, there's no way, Sean. There's
Really?
no way your tire's gonna make it. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna change the tire. I'm in the lead. Like,
Uh-huh.
what are we gonna do? So then everybody's debating, like, if you change the tire, you have to go to the back. I swear, 70% of the people changed their tire. So Brent Kading was one of them. So he was basically gonna inherit second place at that point. Kyle Larson, I think it was his rookie season with Civil War. He
Okay,
changed
that
the
would
tire.
be 07. Was
Okay.
his rookie year with us.
All right, that makes sense. So
I'm pretty sure.
everybody's changing tires. Brent basically told his crew guys to come tell me, hey, take it easy. I'm not even going to try anything. Let's just make sure
Yeah?
we last this race. So I was basically like a quarter throttle the entire way around, just hoping my tire will last. And then all of a sudden I see a 83 pop up on the board in fifth. Then a couple laps later, he's in fourth. A couple laps later, he's in third. I'm like, I gotta go at some point. Like, I'm watching the lap clicks down, and I think Brent still held on to second. Kyle got to third, and then I won that race. But
Nice.
yeah, there was no tires on.
So
it. It was
basically what you're
basically
saying
an
is
asphalt
you
tire.
should be in a NASCAR, not him.
Yeah. Well, Logan Seavey says I have to try Civil Crown cars. Like, it would probably fit my style perfectly.
Well, I feel like I basically won the High Limits Championship this year too, because I raced with High Limits 3 times this year, and I made more points than Brad all 3 times. So basically that means I should have won the championship,
The logic's good.
and he should be racing NASCAR.
Guess that checks
I like it.
out. All right.
Can we race high limits and not NASCAR though?
No, he's
We'll trade you.
He's NASCAR. I'm High Limits champ.
We don't
I'm
want
an
NASCAR.
asphalt driver.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
Boring.
Okay.
Maybe Leslie would watch me then.
Leslie does like herself some
It
NASCAR.
pays a little bit
and
better than tonight.
IndyCar. Okay. The other debate we could go back to is 40 laps, no fuel stop. You got to have a fuel stop of 50 laps. You wouldn't have needed to
We
tonight.
might not need to. I think Lisa asked. I'm pretty sure at the pit meeting for the high limits, like Mike Hess always tells you the lap count at this track is blah blah blah. I swear it was like 80, maybe 75, but like it's always a high number. Anytime like if NARC ever mentions it at the drivers meeting, their number's always lower than when the professional series comes to town. So
They want to make sure you have as much fuel in the car as possible,
Basically.
and you're going to run as many laps as absolute possible before
Right.
they let you dump fuel in the car, because they don't want to stop the race and have an open red. Open reds are stupid and they suck.
So I'm fairly positive that if we went non-stop, nobody would have had an issue with fuel.
But that took going 35 laps nonstop, which is
Right.
an anomaly.
Yeah.
But would they have had trouble with tires? If
Uh,
that much work was going
50
on.
laps, yeah.
And not if it was continuous, because
But the
tracks
tires were getting
always like
pretty hot.
if you stop moving on the track, like I swear, like it like starts drying out, starts sealing over, and then like rubber almost comes more. So I think so. Like if we were just continuously going, I think the track would have been fine. It might have rubbered up and like with 5 to go, or
I mean, I hate rubber. I
Maybe
think
8
it's
to
the
go.
stupidest thing. But like even last night, rubbered up towards the end, and it still was an exciting race. The last few laps were still good. The bad rubber ups are when you were like in it for like 15 laps and everybody just going around. Last night wasn't quite like that. But,
So these formats, you know, you're having a competition yellow. You know it's going to happen. So Justin Peck gets lapped, and then he raced
The leader.
Starks back.
Absolutely.
did
to
he
get
unlap
him-
himself?
Yes,
I
he
thought
unlapped
so,
himself.
yeah.
And so
Should.
on my sheet, I circle you if you get lapped, just so that I know on my, like, am I missing him on here? Did his transponder not hit? So I circle the number on my lineup so that I
But
know.
he got relapped, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But then, like, he got his lap back. I'm all,
Yeah.
what do I do now? I already
I
circled
was
him.
confused
And I was like,
'cause
wow,
there
that
was
doesn't happen
cars
often.
stretched everywhere, and then you kind of lose track of. Typically, the guys at the back, you know, they're slapdick, so it's like, well, that guy's a lapper, but you don't look at the back and look at the 17 and go, oh yeah, he's getting lapped. So
Right.
I honestly am. I'm watching you, and I'm moderately confused on who the hell's leading and who's getting lapped, because you don't expect to look and see Peck getting lapped
Yeah.
So Colby got lapped, slid the leader back.
tonight.
Yes.
See, I
And then the
missed all that.
competition yellow came out.
So
On the last lap before the yellow
So
came
he
out.
got his lap
He
back?
got his lap back.
So I will give Colby credit for that. You know the end is near, so yeah, you might throw a couple haymakers at the leader.
He said I knew it was coming. Like,
Yeah.
I know they're throwing the yellow, so yeah.
Troy Hennig,
I know Troy and Kylie are both
George
watching.
Haig is on the mic.
They were just
Wow.
here. They didn't want to stay, and then they're both watching from their separate phones.
At Raising Canes.
Troy didn't even want to eat dinner with us. Gary's drinking dinner at the beer booth, so screw those guys. No more infield reporting.
Gary
for you.
said, "Oh, I might come by. I might come by later.
Yeah,
I
you
might
can
come
come
by. I
by.
might come by."
Forward if he is.
Where
no,
is
that's
he?
How, I mean,
He
that's
took over?
oh, okay.
That's what he's working on.
The last. Let's talk about the last of the trifecta here. Last Trophy Cup for Dave Pusateri. 30 years of doing this race. He raised $3.1 million in 30 years with this stupid little sprint car race of ours. Just by people
Unbelievable.
donating and selling candy and yeah. So Kevin Rudine, the 26 car, is going to take over this race. And I will admit, my thought was it was going to become a 410 race, a high limits race.
You've been saying that all week.
I was wrong.
Wow.
My hypothesis was wrong.
Did you confirm that that's not happening?
Next
So-
year will be a 360 race.
Okay.
Now, my hypothesis may be correct next year after for the following year.
So what's interesting is like, yeah, I feel like you've been like implanting that seed in my brain like all week long. Like this is the last year of this. Like this is not going to be the same at all. And then yeah, they announced that Dave's moving
Already the
aside.
same date. Everything's the same.
Everything's
Yeah.
the same. Just Kevin Rudine's gonna be running it, and it's gonna go to his
Race Rudine.
Yeah, that's the
Foundation.
other thing. Yeah,
Rudine Foundation.
different.
But they
Instead
said
of
they're
Make-A-Wish.
still gonna have some stuff for Make-A-Wish,
Yeah, they did.
and then Dave will still do his Christmas thing for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, the Trophy Cup promoter Dave, he does a super big light display at his house that also raises money for Make-A-Wish. It's pretty cool, huh?
They have Santa and Mrs. Claus. And
Yeah, they got characters out there and people drive by and
Yeah.
donate money. So
No,
Yeah.
but it was funny. We heard that announcement, so we were actually in camp when they heard that, and you're like, oh, I guess I was wrong. So it's going to be the exact same. And Troy comes in here afterwards, so yeah, this event will not be like that next year. Like it's going to be completely different. It's like, wait, what?
So that's his hypothesis.
That's was yeah.
Yeah.
He thought I don't like maybe a format change he was saying or something. He said like this version of the Trophy Cup will be no more. It'll be something different.
I personally don't lose a whole lot of sleep over any format because we bitch and moan about them all. Like, right after the Knoxville Nationals are over, everybody's bitching about, oh, well, the winner came from the front row. That's stupid. And then, we're bitching and moaning, oh, it's too hard to start from 24th. The winner's, it's just like, I don't think there's really a good, quote unquote, formula for wing sprint cars because we're all going the same speed. We're all glued to the track. And there's some pretty good drivers that, like we talked about. TK's on the front row and Justin Peck's dead last. Who's the slapdick there? Neither of them are.
So it's funny that like Troy like asked for points at that caution. He's all, Caden Steele's leading, like, he started 7th. That's not how this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be someone from the back. I go, 4th place to 18th place was a 10-point spread. 10 points.
See,
4th
tight.
to 18th. So that's 3 positions to be a point behind that person. Like,
so
And I saw the rundown. There was quite a few ties in the top 10
yeah,
too.
there's always ties.
and I wonder if, like, it's kind of been debated before if you should count both days,
I love that.
I
Then
think
you
I'm leaning
have-
towards that too.
and then you have like
Separation.
a big separation
Yeah.
of, man, this guy was super consistent. Like, this guy had one bad night, but one good night, but he still mathematically can make it happen. Maybe not.
We should have had you figure that out for us. We should have. We
Do you
should
want
have.
me to go figure it out?
I'm not. Yeah. I mean, it would have been interesting if we would have talked about this last night.
How much longer are you going to talk?
You have 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes. Takes me that long to get out of
No,
the
don't, don't do that.
you
Come
would've
stay
been-
here,
'cause
producer.
How many?
Don't do it.
How many cars made the main both nights? I would say maybe 10.
Right.
Ish?
Yeah, it's always a mixed
All 3
bag.
nights. Excuse me. All 3 nights.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's a tough 3 nights of racing for sure.
So it's funny because I think, well, didn't you say you thought you overheard Dom complaining
Yeah. Like,
about that?
he wants it to be 3 days combo.
But he
Which
wa-
button is
wasn't
both?
going to be the high point guy going into
Yeah,
tonight.
it wouldn't have worked for him
Yeah.
at all because he had a bad night.
Right. So,
Gosh, did we ever count all 3 nights? Does anybody remember that? No, we didn't, or you don't remember.
Do what?
Did we ever count all
Yes.
3 nights? Okay, so we used to.
Yes.
So then we came up with the throwaway night.
yeah.
Because I think it was a year Hod came out in the 83. That was the first year we didn't do both nights, and they had motor problems.
Oh, on the
3
second night.
trailers.
Yeah.
You know there's 2 motors in each of those trailers, but they couldn't run because they had motor problems.
You know, I didn't really notice too much of that. There's always a couple guys that are just really high point guys, and there's no reason for them to go out and wear it out on the second night.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
nobody really sandbagged.
No.
Or I wouldn't say sandbag, but
Yeah, because I think, well, Sanders was the high point guy after the first night, but then he was leading the second night, so he would have got more points.
Yeah.
So, like, he was definitely
Trying,
pushing.
for
yeah,
sure,
so
yeah.
he was already
Until you took
locked
him out.
Yeah.
I can because I care.
I'm a jerk like that.
You didn't take him out. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Golly.
All right, you know what we should do? We should just end the show right before she gets the math done.
I am almost done.
What was the change that happened after Willie won? Because it was like a Matt Kenseth year.
Yeah,
Remember
he
when
started
NASCAR
6th, and it was like, we gotta fix that. It can't
Yeah,
happen
like
again. But
Roger Crockett passed the most cars. He's the one that should have won, but
the track rubbered up, and the car that started 6th won the main event because
Yeah.
nobody ended up really passing anybody.
so it
I
was
can't remember what we
just
did
like
that
a
year.
Matt Kenseth deal. Like after he won the championship, like by a ton, it's like we need to do like a playoffs or something. Like from then on,
Yeah.
it was like the final 10 races were reshuffled at the points or whatever, like the Matt Kenseth rule.
Hey, Oreo sandwich.
Oh no, I'm not eating those Jello shots, but Sean will.
I'll take that.
Okay, so if we combined both nights,
All right, this is good info. This is interesting.
so the
Coming on camera, I don't like
the order it would have gone.
Oh, Jesus.
I want the pudding pops.
They're gone.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
you have
are.
to do all these.
So Peck would have ended up top points, but he was 6th.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what?
6th.
He was 6th by going off of his best night. But if
Okay.
we combined both nights, he would have been number 1. So he was 6th for this format this weekend. If we counted both nights.
After the main tonight.
No, going into tonight.
Oh no, we want to know.
We want to know.
We want to know after the checkered flag of the feature tonight.
Oh.
Could you do that very fast?
Yeah.
26.
But I like it better, like how you line up. It's really interesting, like how you go into
How it would
tonight.
change the main
Yes,
event lineup.
because that's when we would count both nights. Obviously, we would count them for overall, but it would completely change. So, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is how the points we were. It would have gone 6, 9, 13, 14, 15, 4, 5, 1. So, like, you have one good night, you're the top of the points. But I mean, like Tim, he was 26th in points. He would have.
Zero car broke one of them stupid ultralight rear axles last night.
He would have been 17th. So it's like that's a big swing, 9 points up if you count on both nights. Okay, you want tonight's points?
Don't worry about it then. If it's not
Yeah.
hard.
It's just it's bedtime.
It's bedtime anyways.
But I like counting Thursday and Friday to line you up for Saturday. I think you got to go out there and do your best because, well, here's the other thing too. Eliason got like nothing night one.
But I do think I think in general flip count has been down.
I think they had like 6 cars upside down this weekend.
Right.
Yeah, so
We used to
Eliason
get to
would-
like
or
30.
yes, it was like
Most of them were tonight.
Eliason
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
been 30th in points, and he was third going into tonight.
yeah.
That would change a lot,
Oh, it would change a ton.
but it definitely rewards you for doing good the first 2 nights.
You were 12th, you would have been 10th, so it's close, but there were a lot of good guys that didn't make A mains the last
Yeah.
2 nights.
Right.
Pretty much how Trophy Cup goes.
Yep. There's
Right.
always quite a
But
few people
then
going
it's
on
like
with their tail
then
between
it's
their
a
legs.
but then it's a separation. Like Peck would have had more points being the high point guy, and there might have been a bigger gap from him to 10th in points or 15th in points. So
Yeah,
he's
so he
not
would
going to
have
have to pass 12
Yeah.
cars.
He
He'll
would have
only
had
to
5
pass.
He would have had
7 or 8.
542, and second place would have been 529.
Yeah, see,
That's,
I
I
mean,
think-
maybe it would have been. Maybe that's too much. It
That's
was
why
almost
I think
handed him
Dave-
the championship.
That's why Dave went to the one night thing, because he did want it way tighter to where it was like, holy shit,
Right.
if this guy passes this guy, he's a champ, and if that guy passes this other guy, then that makes that guy
God,
the champ.
everybody was
So
complaining
that's
about the points and I had a good night and
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
well. Let's think of a different way then. If we can't combine both nights, what if we combine?
Okay, but he had a fantastic night. So second, he would have had, or he had fantastic 2 nights. So he would have
Yeah,
had 542. Then it was 529, 521, 520, 500, 498, 498, 495, 493, 488. So
he just had
after those
a
top
great
3
combined
guys,
night compared to
so
anybody
Peck,
else.
Steele, and Golubic were kind of in a league of their own, and Caleb Montgomery. So they were the ones that didn't make sense about anything. He had 2 great nights. He would have been 4th in points. Instead, he was 14th.
Yeah. I feel like this happens a lot on this show. We don't have any answers.
Well, if you ate the rest of your Jello shots, you bet you come up with some answers.
No.
Okay, well, let's finish the show then. You finished where in the main event? 14th?
Started 14th, finished 14th.
And you got 12th in points? Or
16.
16th.
16.
All right. Out of 65 guys that showed up. And you know what? That's your 3rd year in a row at Trophy Cup in the 7B. And that's the 3rd year in a row you didn't bend any parts, which I think that's 9 nights in a row at the Thunderdome.
Yeah, see,
That's saying something.
You can do that, Andy.
And the first time
Just
you
because
made
you did
that,
it doesn't mean I can.
the first night that you've made all 3 A mains.
Yeah,
In
their
the
car-
7B.
In the 7B, right.
That's
Yeah,
improvement.
Good job.
No, thank you for your help this week.
It doesn't feel mileage.
Thank you for a good time this week.
Thanks for hitting the moisture to the infield last night on your cool down lap.
Hey, I listened to my coach.
Okay, so this is probably. Are you guys thinking about going to Stockton for 2 days or what?
I don't think I'll do that.
No.
I think
And this
Travis
is
has soccer.
The last Shark Hills of 24.
Hangtown.
Hangtown 100.
Oh.
We'll do something.
Okay. We'll talk about
Okay.
the USAC midget baby boys racing.
Maybe we'll do one after
And
Sean wins this spectacular.
Their white gloves and their white driving shoes.
Yeah, will you do a shark tail with me after I go 3 for 3 on the spectacular?
Oh, Colby Copeland's watching.
No, you ain't going.
Shane Golobic. Oh, Shane has an idea. Saturday feature 1 bonus point for each car you pass. Oh my God, that's so much work.
Oh, the scorekeeper said no.
No, well,
No, I like it.
no, that
Voted them off.
actually
sorry.
makes sense because
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
there has to be a bigger advantage because the points are so tight. You have to pass way too many cars to catch up and match the guys up front. that kind of makes sense.
Let's
Like
see.
the points are real tight, but an extra point for one
So
party pack?
okay, yeah. So combine all the points and then passing points in the feature. Okay, I like it. Colby, respond to us.
He's driving.
He's driving.
I don't care. Have Candace Texas. Did you know that you were in trouble last night on your restart? Circle yes or no. Check yes or no. Yeah, there you go. Those were the old love letters we used to write a girlfriend.
he-
Do you like me? Circle yes or no.
We gave him a ride back to his campground. He said he was super pumped going to the scales. Like, let's go.
On the
like,
cool down
all-
lap.
Like, all
Let's
excited.
go.
Then they get to the scales, and then the official said,
He did a
didn't
capital
land.
no with a bunch of exclamation points.
You didn't think you were close to jumping. That's interesting.
He said he saw a
he
picture
said he
of
saw a
it.
picture,
And
and
he
he
was-
admits to the picture that he was, but how he said the picture was, I didn't see it, was like his front bumper was past
rear bumper.
their rear bumper. So that's still
cheating.
close,
You're cheating.
but it's closer than you being all the way up alongside somebody at the flag stand, where you would definitely know.
Hey, if you rob the bank, you rob the bank. Whether you rob $39 or $39,000, you still rob the bank.
Ah, poor Colby.
Sorry, Colby.
You're gonna be working for him at Gold Cup. You guys suck.
I was so bummed. I was like, come on, yellow, come on, yellow, come on, yellow.
wanted to
Because then
put
you
him
could,
back,
like,
yeah.
fix it. Well, then Dan Belton says today it's actually Sean's fault. Because Sean pulled to the infield. If he'd stopped on the track, we would have corrected it then. And the whole crowd would have booed him.
I would have.
And
quit
Andy
being-
would have.
I would have quit.
No,
I would.
I know.
Andy would have bazookaed him.
Yeah. I refuse to be bazookaed. Well,
Oh, and there's Dan. Look at that. Hey, Dan, good job.
Dan, you did a good job busting that cheater last night for jumping the start. I'm proud of you. So you know what's fun about not racing Trophy Cup? You can just make fun of everything and everybody. You can make fun of the track prep guy. You can make fun of the officials, your friends that race. What do I care? I didn't race. Who cares?
Still going home on Sunday.
We're still going on Sunday. I did try tearing my tent down. Did you hear about that?
tent?
The Easy Up, the 20-foot long Easy Up tent. I think I was rushing out to watch something. I just tore out of here, got Mia's leash caught in the 50
Oh,
chain,
Jesus Christ.
and then it stopped me like an aircraft carrier, and the whole fucking tent. Yeah, I don't know if the tent's coming down tomorrow. It's pretty tweaked up.
Oh, we're good. Tyler straightened it, so it's all good.
Ripped the lights out of the plug.
And I wasn't even really that drunk.
The ironic thing was, he said, "Drunk guy leaving on a motorcycle."
Yeah.
He did say
And
that?
he
Well, I was just joking. I mean, I just want everybody to get the hell out of my
So you
way.
thought he did it on purpose?
But I went like 5 feet, and then it wound back up, and it pulled the 50 back into the tent. Yeah. Yeah, you missed that. See, this is
did.
the fun stuff you miss by being serious and racing.
By being a race car driver?
Yeah. Suddenly, I was sitting next to this lady up in the grandstand. She goes, "Who do you help?" I said, "I don't really help anybody. I tell that guy in the 7 car what to do." And she kind of didn't know how to take that. And then this one guy turns around and looks. He goes, "Don't listen to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about."
Who was it?
I don't know who. It was some lady up there.
Who was the guy that said you didn't know who you were talking
He
about?
knew who I was.
Okay.
He goes, that guy's only won more races than anybody here in the state, and she didn't know at that point what to believe.
Yeah, she's
Like-
like, what is going
And
on
then so
here?
I responded to that by saying, if I'd really won all those races, don't you think I'd be out here racing right now? So she was thoroughly confused. Yeah, I had her going.
That's great.
What do you guys think of Troy's trying to get the blur to catch on here?
I
I
like it.
think it's great, and
I
I'm fine
love
if
it.
they change my name to Clear's Day. That's how nicknames start.
Players
if you don't
Day
get
in
it-
Fordburg.
Corey's so fast, he's blurry, and I'm so slow, I'm clear as day. So that's why I think my nickname would be better to be that. than
You
Mr.
guys have to get
Excitement.
called together, like clear as day. Day is blurry. So you're blurry too.
No,
No,
Oh.
Andy
Definitely
was
not blurry.
clear as day.
I know, but day's blurry.
He was the blur.
Oh,
Somebody
boy.
says, "Why don't you race Andy?" Because I'm old and decrepit. That's why. This is a young man's track here, man.
Getting there myself.
There was a lot of people in the main, like literally Joey Chittenwood. Like, not sometimes they do it once in a while, but tonight there was quite a few people that were just like railing it like a BMX track.
So all the heat races went in about 2.5 minutes from green to checkered, and then your heat race comes
The
out
one
here.
before mine, or
Red,
was it red?
red. It's like, what is happening right now?
The last two. It was the last two.
I'm like, let's just
Or
checker it.
maybe-
We're good. Let's just
maybe
be
not
done.
The fifth one.
I think I
guess it was
texted
the
you.
fourth
Tell him to
one.
just pull off.
Bailey Hibbard was lucky that his fuel tank did not catch on fire.
Oh, that was a lot.
It poked a hole and it drained all the fuel. And a lot of times, the brake rotor will light the fuel on fire.
There's a fight happening behind us.
Yeah, I know.
I know. That's my wife.
Scared me.
It's your wife.
Say hi to your mom.
Hi to your mom.
Mom, it's past your bedtime. I feel like I see a lot of names that are probably all driving home right now.
I know.
Listening to us. So we either need to just
That
cut them
was-
off and make
that
them fall
was-
asleep by Merced, or talk another 4 hours so they all get home.
That was always our thing on the final
That was
night.
always
Is
our
PJ
thing.
always asked for help getting home
PJ didn't come.
Yeah, so
Turkey.
he doesn't. We don't
So we need
care
to keep
about
PJ.
him.
because he's announcing football games, right?
Yeah, he's got bigger fish to fry.
All right, so passing points next year. Well,
Okay, yeah, I like that. Let's talk to Kevin. So we're going to combine all the nights, and we're going to get passing points in the future. I think you still got to do this Trophy Cup format where you pack everybody to the back. That's Dave's deal. And we got to keep Dave's vision alive. So the whole reason why this race started was, in the 90s, things had kind of transformed into start the fast guys up front. Dave Custeri was an old school guy. He wanted guys at the back. That's how they used to be. Fast guys at the back, so he created his own race. And that's what we've done for 30 years. Fast guys at the back, you get rewarded for passing. So
it's just been tweaked here and there because
Yeah.
I mean, it's been tweaked throughout
Lots
the
of
years.
tweaks here
Yeah.
and there, but
I do like putting the B main transfers up front though, because like we said, they're 1 point behind the person who's already up there. So
But-
like you really have no shot if you transfer out of
but
the B
the
main. You have no
points are
shot
so
if you start in the
close.
back.
Like, didn't Tanner get third tonight, and he was fifth overall in points or something like that?
Ryan Bernal was fifth overall
Oh.
points.
Let's see.
I don't remember where Tanner. Yeah, he took a picture of it. The fourth time I've
Tanner
closed my
ran
computer.
third, yes. But
Yeah.
points-wise, no.
Ran third, but I think he was-
Tanner finished third in the main event. He started on the front row from the B, and he finished 11th in points.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In case you're wondering, it
That's
was
fine.
Corey Day, Selzy, Caden Steele, Neto, Burnell, your top 5.
So 1 point, Neto and Steele were tied. I think.
And that was the difference of 8 points. So just a couple positions between all them guys.
Yeah, so one car crashes out and it just shakes up
Changes
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, let's see. 10th in points was 17 in Peck. He made $6,000 for 10th in points. On,
No, it's just the championship
on top of
points.
what he made
So
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
make money for 500. I think.
$300,000 purse, I think, is what I heard.
Yeah.
And we typically race for like an $8,000 or $9,000 purse on a Saturday night, I think. A little extra money.
They had one family that donated $100 to every non-transfer out of the C main.
Oh, did you get me in on that?
What?
Remember, you were supposed to just kind of squeeze me into the point sheet tonight, like maybe like just run third and
So the 92 got
so I could get some money.
next
Yeah,
to
I
last in the
didn't.
seat.
We talked
You're-
about that last night.
No.
Do you remember talking about that last night?
Oh, we definitely did.
What the hell?
What?
So I'm not getting paid anything?
Did you turn in your tax form to the?
Yeah, I don't need that. They're just paying me cash.
Yeah, they won't pay you unless your tax form's in there.
Oh, you fucked that up, Lisa. Thanks a lot.
Add it to the list.
All right. If nobody's got anything good to ask, we'll just peace out.
Yeah, travel safe home, everybody.
Yeah, sorry if you guys are only to like Madera or Merced, you're on your own the rest of the way.
What if they're going the other direction?
We don't care about anybody.
Does anybody
going.
go the other direction?
Yeah, who was
Well, they're already home by now. Everybody going the other direction lives in Hanford. Yeah, or Tulare. There's a moderate amount of cars from Hanford and Tulare. This whole
yeah,
area.
Fresno, but you're
Yeah.
still kind of going north a little bit.
Nobody in Tulare knows that this racetrack or this race happens. Like when we used to stay at hotels and stuff, we'd go to the outlets or whatever, and it's like, you guys know that there's a race going? A race where? For what? Like they don't even know there's a racetrack here. It just seems odd. The stands
Kinda
were
like
packed
my
today.
wife
You thought they were full?
growing up
I
in
thought they
Chico.
looked full.
I felt like where I sit in the grandstands in turn one. It didn't seem.
Less than normal.
It
Oh,
didn't
really?
seem as crowded
Yes.
to me. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's been times where it's like you almost couldn't find a seat. Like you
Yeah.
literally had to like, hey man, can I sit
Yeah.
right there? But I mean,
Just for Saturday.
yeah, I could have sat kind of sort of wherever I wanted in that entire area.
Yeah.
Not like
How
the
much
whole
did someone
family.
say it was? $60 to get in the grandstands tonight.
Holy crud! I don't
60
know.
bucks.
Is that what it was?
55, and then 62.
55 for 55 for the first two nights.
and then
What about like the general, like the bleachers, not the grandstand? Same thing.
You gotta pay for it.
Same price.
Gotta pay for
So-
this person somehow.
So probably maybe definitely less people than.
I tried to get in on some of the auction items, and Gary never looked up to the booth to see that I was waving my hand.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, so 3 fire suits got sold to Tarleton's for 21 grand. A piece of artwork of the 88 car, Country Village car, got sold for 25 grand. And Kevin Rudine bought an piece of art by a little kid for 26 grand. So you'd be happy that they didn't see your hand waving, because you might have got stuck paying 27 grand.
Then Roth used to get in on it. He doesn't come out anymore because he'd be paying 83 grand.
Yeah, that's when you want to. If you're gonna be kind of rich, maybe and
Yeah.
have a race car, have a low number. If you're gonna go
You're
to
like,
one,
Zero.
you don't want to go no
Zero.
auctions if your car number 92. You'd
I
be
bid,
paying a lot of money.
I bid 0.
Or one.
Card number should be 0.5.
Wait.
Okay,
Okay.
we're just rambling. Dude.
Yep.
It's about this nonsense.
Okay. Bye. Oh, I missed it. Missed